Here are 5 things that I wish I would have paid attention to more once I retired. These are just little things, but little things add up. We're talking after you work 40, 30, 40, 50 years, and then all of a sudden you retire. Welcome, guys. This is Dan. This is Retirement Stories. And I want to go over some things that I wish I would have thought of before I retired, and some of the things that I done as far as an adjustment after I retired. Let's talk about coming up on retirement. Say you're 5 years away or less, and you decide, I'm going to retire. I'm just going to sit around the house, I'm going to eat my potato chips and ho-hos, and I'm going to lay on the couch all day. And I know there are people that do that. But to me, that type of lifestyle is so pointless. It's not productive. And you will find yourself doing things that you never would have done when you're working. So yeah, let's talk about the things that hit you immediately. Number 1, what do I do with my time? What do I do now that I've closed off all my social circles primarily with an everyday work life? I owned a pest control company for 40 years, or worked in the industry 40 years and owned one for 20. And I was so driven trying to grow my company that I actually lost focus on what was important in life. My wife, first and foremost, number 1. My family, I was just not paying attention to the little things in life. As I was told when I was growing up by my grandparents, stop and smell the roses. And it's so true, because the older you get, time goes much faster. I'm 74 and I retired at 70, and I actually been retired almost 5 years now. But I've noticed an abrupt change in some of the things that I used to do that I don't do anymore. Now, there are benefits from being retired. There's no doubt about that. But you also got to take into account that you have a fixed income. Now, we have savings and we have a 401 that fortunately we have not had to cash in yet. So we're going to leave it alone. We can live on our Social Security, my wife and I, so we do fine on that. I don't have a house payment. I don't have car payments. I don't have any debt whatsoever. When that credit card comes in at the end of the month, it gets paid in full every month. So you have to really think about what are you going to live on. Now, if you're just living on Social Security, that can be tight, because the way the cost of groceries are going up, the way everything is going up, gas prices now that we have a little war going on with Iran, gas prices are going to spike. The Strait of Hormuz is about ready to close off, Iran is, and that's even going to spike gas prices even more. So we're not going to get into the political part of any of that. We're just going to talk about how it affects me personally once I retire. So when you look at cost of living, gas, food, just different things, emergencies come up. I tell people to make sure you have at least a 6-month emergency fund where you can dip into that. What if you need a new roof on your house? That's $15,000 to $20,000. Are you ready for that? Or could be more depending on the size of your home. What if you have a water heater goes out that could cost you $1,000 to $1,500? Now, some of you can still do that stuff yourself, but I would just as soon hire a pro to get things done, to make sure I don't mess up and to make sure it's done right. And then you just got everyday expenses that actually prop up, medical bills, things that you just don't think about when you're working. So now when we go to the grocery store, my wife and I, we take a list. And we pretty much stay what's on that list. We don't buy extra things, because that can add up very quickly. What do you do with your time? I mean, do you volunteer, church activities? Do you volunteer outside of what you normally would do? What do you do with your time? Do you take walks? Do you e-bike or bike? Do you hike? These are some of the things I do all of. I have e-bike channel and an e-trike channel that I can put a link to for you guys, where I review bikes and trikes for companies. And then I help other seniors and people with disabilities that if they are searching for an e-bike or e-trike, maybe I can help them out a little bit. That's one thing I do. Now I'm still recovering from bruised ribs on my crash that I had on my e-bike. You've probably seen that video. If you haven't, I'll put a link down there for you. I went down hard about 2 weeks ago, and I have a hairline fracture in one of my ribs, and I bruised my whole left side rib cage. That hurts. And to this day, even going into week 3, that it still hurts, and I can feel it. I cough, I sneeze, I just moved the wrong way. Yeah. So these are some of the things that can happen to you. I had to go to the emergency room to get x-rays. That's going to cost out of pocket. Even though I have Medicare, it still costs out of pocket. So, you know, some of those expenses are going to come up on you guys, and you have to be ready for that. So, you know, I think about what they do as far as a circle of friends, since they lost all that when they're working. Because guys, once you retire, they may give you a cake and a send-away party or whatever, but after all that is over, you'll probably never hear from them people again. Why don't you reach out to somebody that's an old friend? Why don't you reach out to a childhood friend? I do occasionally to somebody. I'll reach out to them just to make sure they're okay. So you have to keep not only your body in shape, so you just don't wear down with just sitting around, and you have to stay mentally sharp. And those are some of the things that I try to do. I try to read as much as I can, especially my Bible and things like that. But you have to just think about, what can I do with my time now? I had a great career. I had 40 years of fun. I have to admit, God blessed me with talents to do what I did, and He gets the glory, and I'll leave that at that. But I also figured out that I have to fill my time. I can't just do it with e-bike or e-trike riding. I love my flowers, I love my perennials, and I'm soon coming up on the time where I have to go out and cut all my perennials back for the springtime. Change of clocks are coming this weekend on Saturday, so we're going to spring forward. I see some of my perennials are starting to come up. I'm seeing my trees are starting to bud. Only got one, but all my neighbors' trees, I can see them budding now. Baseball is right around the corner. My wife and I just love to sit and watch the Cincinnati Reds. We signed up for Major League Baseball to where we can just both and watch every game on TV. And that's the quality time that I spend with my wife. I have 3 inside cats. I truly love every one of them. One's 16, one's 15, and one's about 13. But guys, we lost our female cat about 2 years ago, and that was still hard to this day, losing a family member, even if it's a cat, because that's very difficult. So you have to, you're going to have grieving times in life. You're going to have happy times in life. You're going to look back at yourself and you're just going to laugh at yourself. Some of the silly things, dumb things that you did in your life. But guys, life is an adventure, and it certainly is not a sprint. It's not. The longer you live, and again, I'm 74, and time is closing in on the baby boomer generation. There's no doubt that there's not a whole lot of us left anymore. Well, there's still quite a few, but the baby boomer, once it passes away, the next generation takes over. So I just wanted to share with you some of the things that I do on my journey through retirement. If you got any questions, put them down in the comments section. Or if you may have some ideas, put it down in the comments section. I answer everything that comes in. So yeah, share, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you on the next video.